Well, good morning, my friends. It's your old pal Jordan the Lion. How are you all doing today? Great! I hope you said great. We are here in Arizona once again today. Yesterday you saw the amazing inside of the Ponderosa 2, and today I'm going to try and make it just as exciting because we're going to go to Maricopa and we are going to go to a Dwarf car museum. This is a special Patreon sunglass vlog for Michael and Patricia Simila. And what the Dwarf Car Museum is there's a man named Ernie who actually builds 5/8 scale fully functioning cars that he likes. He makes a 5/8 scale version that you can get in, drive around, and he doesn't sell them, he just does it purely for the love. And he has created a museum. He and his wife are there, and we're gonna go meet them today, and he's gonna show us around, tell us how it all came about. And I think there actually even used to be a dwarf race track. There used to be dwarf car racing, so people would have these cars and go out and race them. I think we're in for a pretty exciting world today. Daze with Jordan the Lion begins now. Alright, our next stop, off to meet the man, the originator of the Dwarf car cruisers. Alright, I'm not even here yet and I'm loving it already because I've been off the freeway for 45 minutes doing twists and turns and back roads, and that adds to the suspense. Well, I'd say beyond this barbed wire, we have found what we are looking for. Alright, here's our entrance. Closes at 4. But it's open now. Hello. Oh wow, I like what I see already. That's a full sizer, but that's an awesome Nova. Who's ready for some fun? And not only does he have his Dwarf car museum here, but there's also a pet cemetery here, I believe. This is kind of what reminded me of it. It's a heck of a lot of license plates from a lot of places. Sounds like he has some people here. I can hear him in there telling a little bit of this story. Take a look at this old gas station here, these old pumps and these old signs. Look at that old, cool old Coca-Cola machine. And this guy. We haven't even got inside yet. Oh, hello. Didn't know I was going to see you today. Nice pearly whites. Now let's go meet Ernie. Let's get the full experience together. First looks, wow. 5/8 scale. And even an on-site barbershop. No joke. And look who's been here. Jay Leno. Take a look at that. You get the real experience. Look. Everybody loves Raymond. Brad. And there's Jay.
I built the first metal car in 1965, and I built the first street legal car. I licensed it in 92. Then the next one I licensed in 99, the next one 2009, and then one in between there. And then the next one I licensed in 2013, and then 2016, and the next one in 2018, and then I built one after that I didn't license.
How many have you done in total?
I think 8 or 9, something like that.
Have people come and tried to buy them off you? Do you ever help people or sell them or anything like that?
I've had offers unbelievable.
Do you ever consult people that want to build their own? Do they come out here and ask you questions or?
Only one guy, Gene here, he talked me into assisting him building one, and he done such a nice job on that one, the little 54 Chevy 2-door hardtop, that I went ahead and he wanted to build another one, so I said he could go ahead and build it in my shop. So he's kind of building that and more on his own, you know.
And if he needs any help, he can come over and ask you for.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Kind of help each other back and forth a little bit.
What inspired you to do, you know, these size instead of a normal size recreation, or even smaller?
When I was about 15 years old, a train come by our house, and I looked out the window, and there laid an old refrigerator in the weeds, and it didn't have a door on it, but it had a tire swing laying by it, and it looked like a white touring car with a black fender. So that stuck in my mind, and when I got married in 62, by 65, I was wanting an antique car, and I lived in a little trailer park and didn't have room for one. Couldn't afford one anyway, so I thought about that refrigerator. And so I just gathered up some old refrigerators and built me my first metal car out of 9 refrigerators.
And were you able to drive it around? I mean, or was it just for looks, or could it?
No, it's sitting back there in the back, yeah.
Wow. And then that just spawned a whole love for wanting to make more?
Well, then off of that, I created the Dwarf race cars, and I did that for about 10 years, because I didn't know how to bend the metal. And when I had done that first car, all I had was an arc welder, and I made a homemade hacksaw, and I had a hammer and chisel. And I built that car in that manner, you know. Then, after doing the race cars, I started getting the feel of metal, you know, so I decided to build a street legal car, which was the little 39 Chevy, licensed at a 92. Now that movie back there will show you it'll explain all that refrigerator car to you. And
okay.
It'll explain the hillbilly car to you, and it'll show you all how it's built.
Now, can I ask you one more thing? How do you decide what you're going to build next? Do you build your dream cars? Do you just
whatever pops in my mind at the time?
Anybody just challenge you for something that they think you can't do?
I was looking in Old School magazine on this last car I'm building, a 41 Chevy 2-door sedan, and I looked in Old School magazine reading it, and there was a 40 Chevy in there, and it had fender skirts and visor, and it was painted dark green but bright green, and I just really liked the looks of it, but I wanted a 41 instead of a 40, so I'm building that car now. He said this is a 1904 Curve Dash Oldsmobile. My friend Eric Singer is a huge Oldsmobile fan, so he'll love seeing this. This is incredible. And you can actually drive them around. Isn't that amazing? And this is the one that he's working on here. He's doing his apprenticeship here. So like I said, he wanted to take it off the jack. We were going to put it on camera and take a look at what he named it. Little Bitty. It's so cool to think that somebody can get in there and drive those around. I couldn't, but wow. Obviously they can. Look at that. That's a seater and a half. I'm sure you could probably get 2 people in there, just not 2 people my size. He was just telling me that he's been working on that for 10 years, 10 winters, and he said it goes about 70, 80, but I've gotten it up to 100. Wow, and then check this out, the Cradle of Love. So they were telling me this one wasn't actually built here, but it's a friend of theirs had built this. What was this you were telling me?
It was his version of a Morgan that was built between 1915 and 1952. He saw one in a garage at a garage sale, and years later he decided to build one, so he bought a motorcycle to make it. And he took the front wheels and the fork and the handlebars off and left the frame and built around it.
That's
he
what
said
this
it was
is.
comfortable at 65 mile an hour. And he's retired it now, so it'll be in here.
That's really cool. Thank you for that story. How neat is that? What an impressive little museum. I'd love to see these being raced. And here you can see up in the window he's got a little Dwarf cars.
Got air conditioning.
It's got air conditioning?
Yeah. Got power windows here.
That is neat. Now, is that a two-person, or would that be more one?
Two
or
people.
Yeah.
2 people.
Date night.
Comfortable.
Oh, I love what you did with the shifter. What is that, marble?
Yeah, that's an old antique, authentic knob. That's real McCoy.
So you have to create all the inner parts as well. All the inner workings and everything you have to...
Well, you gotta make everything. The dash is made from scratch.
Yeah, that's amazing. Just letting people know how much work really goes in. It's not just the outside, it's everything inside has to be to scale.
Well, I've got all homemade tools also. I made the roller to make the dies, to make the stainless, made the door handles, bumpers, everything is homemade right here in the shop.
Does it get easier every time you make one, or is it the fact that it's a different type car?
It gets harder.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because I'm getting older.
That's what I was wondering. Wow, you have such an amazing collection here.
They all got the exact amount of grill bars that they're supposed to have. It all functions just like the original car. This is an air tank, so I don't need a recovery system.
Wow. Are you a mechanic by trade, or?
Yeah. These lenses are made out of a headlight. Now, if you want to sit in one, you're welcome to sit in this one.
Oh, absolutely. I'd love to sit in one if I can squeeze in there. Head first.
Duck your head and go in head first.
Believe it or not, I fit in here. He said he drove this last night.
Now it's got everything the real car's got. Radio, heater, defrosters, windshield wipers, the windshield rolls out, the rear windows roll up and down, ashtray, cigarette lighter, glove box, towel vent.
Give me your camera, I'll take a picture of you.
Wow. And look up here by the mirror, Betty Boop.
Those are homemade also.
The spoke wheels are?
Yeah.
Wow. It's named Bonnie. Is this Bonnie and Clyde?
No, that was a neighbor lady wanted her name on one of my cars.
Oh, no kidding. That's great. Yeah, he just took this one out last night. All the way down to the hood ornament. Look at that. That is detail.
Automatic transmission in it.
This one's the pretty woman.
4-cylinder Hemi. Also made those wheels.
How long does it take you to make the wheels?
I don't really know. I had to make the jig work to make them with first. I had to pound out all that center section.
Yeah.
Probably takes a couple hours to make a wheel.
Wow.
Maybe 3 hours total.
Do you work every day on a car when you're working on it, or do you do weekends, or how do you?
No, it's just whenever we get time, you know. We were just taking a break when you come in. Since 7 o'clock this morning on that.
Oh! This is where he was working today, so he's going to show us what he's working on. Look at all the classic signs.
Oh, and this car I'm working on here, I'm just starting on, it's going to be a 41 Chevy 2-door sedan. Right now, this morning, what I've been doing is making the cowling here. This whole section here is what I'm putting on this morning. This is where the hood closes down on here. Got all the door latches and everything in it. Automatic transmission and 3-speed with an overdrive.
Wow, we really get a seat at the beginning. Or not the beginning, but I mean pretty close.
I moved the center of the wheels in an inch. I took 12 inches out of the width of the rear end. Everything in this car, door latches, door hinges, window mechanisms, Motor, transmission, rear ends, all out of an 82 Corolla. Toyota.
What do you call this, you said?
It's called the birthing room.
The birthing room.
That's what some lady named it.
That's great.
Jeans belt.
64 Chevy convertible they're working on. Oh, the door handles are?
Yep.
Yeah, you probably can't buy much of anything.
The whole complete body, the dash, everything's homemade.
The headlights, but the bezel's too large. I made a smaller bezel to make the headlight look smaller.
Here he's showing us the comparison of an original and then the one that they've built. Now we're going outside. Oh, this is where he builds everything.
This is a homemade bead roller. That's what I put the louvers in the hood with. And it goes up high enough, go from one louver to the next, and deep enough to run the whole set in there. And these things crank up and down here so I can put curvature in a quarter panel if I want. And it goes down to the same tension every time. The jig that I make the spoke wheels off of, you'll see that in the movie being used. This is what I make all the stainless with. Just crank it through there, and then I put these in the vise and bring it back through here.
Oh, he said the bead roller put those in that hood.
Race car jig work for a body shop in North Phoenix, and they painted it up, and they come out with the boat.
Yeah, this, I didn't show you guys yet, but this car is pulling
That's got
a
a
boat.
CBX Honda 600 motor.
How neat is that? I'm sure it works too.
Race car ever built there.
It's the first one.
All original.
Built by Ernie Adams.
First paid purse we had to race. Had a $500 purse.
Let's take a look inside. Much more primitive than what he's doing now, right?
Sheila, that's named after my wife.
Sweet little Sheila. Was that her choice of car also, or did you choose?
No, I just named it after her, being it was, that's the second, would be the third car I built.
Which one was the second?
Second one would be that, well, that's the second street legal car. That little black one's the first street legal car. And then that Mercury is the third street legal car.
Dwarf car parking only. 1942 Ford Deluxe convertible. He was showing me that the 42 Ford still had a crank hole, so he had to put one. And look at that. Dwarf 4.
Yeah, well, that's just like the original hood badge that said Ford 8. The park light lenses are made out of Tabasco sauce bottles.
These are made out of Tabasco sauce bottles.
Frosted them on the inside. And the rear bumper is made just like the front bumper, except it has Dwarf engraved in it instead of Ford, like Ford. Pieces for this, it's like 42, 46, 47, and 8 all have that chrome piece there. I had to make these pieces to press that over. There's a male image, right and the left, or mirror image.
Here you can see even the the convertible top works. And there it's out there driving it. He's telling me he's taken these all the way to Chicago. He's driven them out to Fairmount, Indiana. They've made some serious trips.
It has a 1932 American Austin motor in it. It has one headlight that works. The fuel tank and the firewall was built out of an old house refrigeration casing. The body skirts was made out of a refrigerator door. The running boards was made out of a 4-foot 4-inch light. It's fully operational. I built
We'll go take a look at this.
Spoke wheels out of the Toyota wheels, what they originally were, but I had to make the spokes. It's got all kinds of things donated on it. Most all of the stuff was donated from somebody that wanted their stuff on here. It has windows fully operational and roll up and down. It has full instrumentation, horns. In the back seat it has a...
He said there's a dinosaur egg hatching in there.
Back there that's fully operational. It has all kinds of stuff on it that's donated from everywhere. I've got Don Laughlin at the Riverside Cottage there. 32 American Austin motor. Has a 2-inch bore. Has a 4-cylinder. It's got the updraft carburetor. It's 11.5 inches long.
Not only is this place amazing, but it's absolutely worth the drive and worth the stop because these guys are great. Look at all this. Now here's what he was just showing us on video. Most of this car was built, as you saw in there, out of a refrigerator. Everything from fenders, all this was made from refrigerator parts. And this is of course the old idea of everyone packing up everything they have and moving west to escape Dust Bowl and start a new life. He's even got somebody in here riding passenger. I haven't spoken to my wife in 18 months. Even had to put a woman's shoe on there, and then the Hidden Valley Hillbillies. My girlfriend told me I should be more affectionate, so I got 2 girlfriends. When a man steals your wife, there's no better revenge than to let him keep her. Take a look at that. Please be seated. And of course, it's a Dwarf. And on the fender up here, he's got a telephone. No long distance calls, please. Well, I think we have seen everything. What a collection. What a hobby. What a life. Okay, maybe we didn't see everything. We didn't see his entire toy car collection, which is massive. Even making room for Elvis. What an amazing place. Just as I was about to leave, I didn't even notice this. They said, "Didn't you see that up there? That came out of his mother's house." There's like a whole apartment up there. Take a look at that. A sink, a bed, everything. And on that note, we are out of here. What an absolutely incredible place and incredible story. I asked him, I said, how many people do you normally get out here? Like I said when we were driving out, it's not really off the beaten path. I mean, you gotta really do some driving to get out here. And he said right now, because of, you know, the world lockdown and everything, he said about 10 a day, but he said before that anywhere from 150 to 250 people because of when Jay Leno came out here. Pretty cool. Alright my friends, we're going to call it a day. I want to thank Jules Skelton, Amy Elizabeth Vanko, and Robert Putinis for becoming my newest Patreons. Michael and Patricia, I hope you enjoyed your Patreon sunglass vlog. And what a museum. Dwarf Car Museum. Check it out if you're ever out here. Maricopa, Arizona. Have a great night everyone, and goodbye.